brought to you by exploring-nepal.com. Sometimes an idea behaves just like a spark. It's a small impulse that ignites a whole fire. That spark ignited my fire about 1 year ago. And this is where it brought me.
Hansi, wo ist es? Hansi, wo zum Henker ist es? Das Klopapier, Hansi, wo ist es?
Basically every day is the same. First thing in the morning is putting on the stove to cook some porridge for the team. Meanwhile, the others start packing their stuff.
For my dog. Big one.
It is usually still freezing cold until the sun manages to warm you up at around 8 or 9 am. At that time you are typically on the trail for an hour or two already. At midday you are having some instant noodles for lunch and later the same for dinner. It is a monotonous routine which repeats itself over and over again. Sometimes you can't walk on because of the weather, which makes you tent bound. At first it is nice to have time for reading or playing cards, but after a few hours you start getting bored, trapped in this Nylon cell with 2 other inmates. Eventually you go to sleep again, and like every other night you wake up 3 to 5 times, having to go out into the cold to pee or do something else. At the point you get back in at 4 am all wet, cold and tired, you suddenly start thinking if the sun and the trail aren't that bad after all. Your heart is pumping. Breathing hurts. Steps are slow and heavy. Doubts crawl into your mind. If you give up now, everything leading up to this moment was useless. You recall how it all started, how you stepped through the gates to the Himalaya, how you crossed the shaky bridges, resolute as you were, the endless amounts of prayer wheels you've passed, and how they reminded you of the grind behind you and still ahead of you. The terrain hadn't always been easy, uneven and full of rocks. Weather was rarely on your side, cold as it was most of the time. You think about the altitude, how difficult and challenging some parts of the trek were. You think about the amount of hours you've spent on the trek. Doubts never really leave you.
Really, you ask yourself all the time why you woke up here, why are you doing it? You picture yourself at home. You could be, comfy, but instead you're doing this. But you keep on walking and walking and walking. And then, in the end, you know why you did it. You look around on the top, and you see the view, and you realize that really it's worth it.
Nepal is so different from Denmark. I recall the first day we arrived at Kathmandu International Airport. What a joke. Our host had brought us a taxi, and after a few minutes we were driving through the so-called streets of Kathmandu. I don't know what I had expected, but it was entirely different from what my eyes witnessed. Kathmandu was a mess. It was chaotic, filthy, and full of trash. People were poor and dirty, sitting on the streets watching you. I remember how shocking the picture was for us. There's no word to describe the relief we had when we finally left Kathmandu. Leaving the mess behind, seeing the mountains rise in front of us. Culture in the trekking region is very different from Kathmandu. There are not many opportunities when it comes to people's personal future. Most people earn their living by providing some sort of service for tourists through lodges, shops, or as porters. We were very moved and impressed by the porters, some of them younger than us and others incredibly old, carrying 40 kilos on their backs, no matter the weather conditions. It's not unusual to meet a yak caravan while trekking. You'll hear the sound from afar, the bells ringing. While the volume increases, you'll notice some horns, and soon you're passed by several heavily loaded yaks. Behind them a man yelling and throwing rocks at them. You'll also notice monks and monasteries along the way. Sometimes you'll even witness ceremonies and hear the monks meditate and sing. It is said that Sherpa people are very hospitable. While trekking through the mountains, we were able to experience that. Along the trekking path, you'll see prayer wheels and flags with written prayers on them. Every turn of every wheel is a prayer to the gods. The same thing applies to the prayer flags. These prayer flags are put on top of mountain passes, ridges, and even summits. Written on them are prayers for good fortune, long life, or strength. The 5 traditional colors represent the 5 elements. It's said that when in balance, they reproduce health and harmony.
Say guys, we go home now.
We'll probably eat good tonight.
It's very frustrating, but nothing to do. Safety first.
Squats, obviously.
It's like so delicious.
Some old man talking.
Haha, schnotzig, kalt, nass, Erotik pur. Haha. Filmst du eigentlich schon?
Nein. Ich glaub schon. Ach so. Think wild, eat civilized.
So, du hast eine schöne Dame.
Ja, ich habe mehrere Damen bestimmt.
So, sunshine in the Himalaya. Go mountain coffee. Keeps you warm.
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Go mountain coffee. I thought it was go mountain coffee. Go mountain coffee. Yeah. Go mountain coffee. Keeps you warm. Yeah. This is difficult at altitude. Oh, my breathing. Oh no! Told you this is the wrong way. To the Mont Blanc. Oh,
Got that on tape, mate?
is what?
His cock is freezing off.
Which cock?
It's back! It's very cold out here.
Yeah, I guess.
I would like to get in.
500 rupees.
200.
250, come on.
Okay, good deal. $2.50.
$3.
No, no,
You know, this is not Kathmandu, you know?
It's
this
not.
is fucking hell.
You know.
No.
Unfortunately.
Do you smoke?
Go mountain coffee. Keeps you warm. Yeah.
Wie heißt das? Scheiße. Mist. Hey Gollum.
Precious.
No. Not precious.
Oh, jetzt wieder. Wo ist er? Ja.
Erdbeben.
Diarrhea is nice though. It's cleans your stomach and stuff, you know. Also, I've got a long neck, if you haven't noticed yet.
Hansi.
Always remember, kids, to use sunglasses. Otherwise your eyes will hurt, and I tell you that's not funny. See? Not funny.